I'm going to start this video by saying there are people born with mental and physical challenges and other things that are beyond their control unless, it's you get into the stuff where, their last life they did something wrong and then this time they're born and all that stuff. Whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying there are people born with mental and physical challenges. It's not their problem in this life. That we don't push guilt on them for that. And I'm not talking about them in this. When I'm talking about the word retardation, I'm not. It has. I think it. I believe that's self-inflicted. Like people that do a bunch of drugs and they become stupider from it, or they do stupid stuff and they become maybe it physical. They for whatever reason they mess themselves up physically or mentally from doing stuff over and over that they knew was wrong to do. And so what I'm trying to say is you can have stupid people that do retarded stuff, meaning stuff that is detrimental to them, whatever. They're not trying to improve. And you can have intellectuals, which you could say go to the point of stupidity, like a balloon flying clear across the country, and then a week later shooting something down that they won't tell you what it is. That was over Alaska. That was smaller, and it could have been a snowball. Who knows? Could have been a balloon they stole off a clown up in Alaska. He let it go and shot it down, and said, "Okay, now we can go up and we can give a news conference saying we stopped some threat. Now we're there apparently that balloon that went across the U.S. from China. I heard one time and one time only that it had explosives on it, just in case it was captured. So that would have been a threat. If there was explosives on it, that would be a threat. And if they didn't want it caught, then that would be a spy balloon, not a weather surveillance balloon. And since there was like 40 of them, apparently, I don't know if I read somewhere where there was 40 countries that had been breached by balloons like this. Now, I don't know if it was all in the same day or the week, or if this has been over a certain amount of time that 40 balloons from China has flown over 40 different countries. It might have been more balloons, but they said 40 countries have been breached by these kind of balloons. Okay, so you take the stupid people doing stupid stuff, and you can't lump them into the sum as calling them retarded. They're doing self-inflicted damage. But you can also take intellectual people that do stupid stuff, like the military and the executive branch, thinking that the military, which practices identifying threats, it's all their whole job. Whereas you got the executive branch of government that don't. I mean, they're supposed to be like executive, like what executive branch would do, but it's not notifying, knowing of what a threat is, identifying a threat where the military is trained to, especially outposts like Alaska or any border area that we have where we have threat weaponry set up. And seeing that I just saw a newscast where they said they identified a threat today or yesterday, and they called the president to see if they could shoot it down, and he said, yeah. Now that is the stupidest. They got these hypersonic missiles. Russia's got hypersonic missiles that can outfly any air defense we have. And they are stuck. I'm going to say the military intelligence is retarded, because they have stuck. We're at the point of where we can identify a balloon as a threat, use the communications they have now as to whether or not they can shoot it down by calling the president, compared to we're at the balloon threat defense in our country. We got all this, we're in space. We got all this lasers and stuff, and we're at balloon defense strategy as far as communications wise. And they got hypersonic missiles, or whatever they call them, that can outfly anything we got. And we're having the people identifying a threat, calling the president, who might be sleeping when this happens, wakes up, and they're going to have what are they going to have a discussion with him? By the time they locate a phone, that missile has already hit targets in our country. So I'm saying our intelligence, or not our intelligence, because that'd be putting civilian in there, but military or government intelligence is retarded. That's what this video is about. Retarded government intelligence.